Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'll be showcasing my new and improved Dinosaur deck. With the introduction of the new Transcendosaurus archetype, I have revamped this deck to incorporate some of the new cards. I think I've come up with a pretty cool new build, so let's get right into it. So let's begin with old reliable 3 copies of your Souleating Oviraptor. Searches any one of your dinosaur monsters. Very strong because it doesn't care about the level, searches anything. Also, you can pop a dinosaur monster on the field to special summon a dinosaur from the graveyard, which is very important because it can get back some of your resources, or it can even work well with your Lost World to destroy a monster from your deck. So 3 copies, very standard, very nice. Next up we have 2 copies of Animadorned Archosaur. So you can pop a card from your hand or field to add one Evolution Pill spell card from your deck to your hand. So in this deck we don't only run double Evolution Pill, we also run the new Beta Evolution Pill to get out our Transcendosaurus fusion monster. Next up, triple Babycerasaurus. We all know what he does, you destroy him and then you can special summon a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. 1 Petiteranodon, you can run 2, I think that's pretty good, but I think the ratios here are good enough. If he's destroyed, you can special summon a level 4 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck. So I can help you get into your new level 6 Transcendosaurus monster, or it can even go into your Pank or your Kaiju. Next up, Miscellaneousaurus. Have you read him? He's pretty good. You can discard him and then all your dinosaur monsters are unaffected by your opponent's effects until the end of the main phase. You can also banish him from the graveyard alongside other dinosaur monsters to add a dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand with a level equaling the number of monsters you banished. So you can banish just himself to bring out your Animadorned Archosaur and then combo off that way. 1 Giant Rex. When he's banished, you can special summon him. So a lot of the cards in this deck banish. You can use your double evolution pill to banish him and then he comes back. So just a great card to have at 1. Next up for the new guys, we have Xeno Meteorus and 1 Frostosaurus. So with the new Transcendosaurus cards, you can make use of your normal monster in your deck here. He's a level 6 tuner, so it can help you go into some of your synchros. When a monster is destroyed on your field or in your hand, you can special summon them from your hand. And you can, during the main phase, pop a monster from your field or hand, and then special summon a normal monster from your deck. So this brings out your Frostosaurus, and you can either go into a Synchro 12 or a XYZ 6. You can also run a dinosaur monster like Megalo Smasher X as a level 4. This would be a straight up Synchro 10, but there are other ways in this deck to go into Synchro 10s, and I think the extra 6 is very handy in going into your XYZ monsters. Next up, you know him, you love him. 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. You can definitely run 3 if you want, but we're trying to min-max this deck here, so we have 2 of them. He special summons himself by banishing 2 dinosaur monsters from the grave, and then during the main phase quick effect, he can pop a card from your hand or field to flip all your opponent's monsters face down. He can also attack all monsters your opponent controls, and when he attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent and then send that card to the grave. So one of the best boss monsters. It's really good that he's a main deck monster, so even if you get Dimension Barriered or something like that, you can always summon him, so definitely run him at least 2. 3 works as well. 1 Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. Having a searchable Kaiju in this deck is very important for matchups like Pearly, where the only way you're going to get rid of their boss monster is to Kaiju it. We run the other 2 in the side deck, but 1 in the main deck is good enough because you can search it off your Oviraptor and then Kaiju your opponent's monsters. Next up, 1 Pank, just a free special summon. Again, you can search him off Oviraptor because he's a dinosaur, and he can tribute himself to pop a card in the field. We do run the Scrap Engine in this deck, 2 Scrap Raptor and 1 Scrap Chimera. This is for your Scrap combo. I thought including the Scrap combo was important in this deck, mainly because we do run the triple True King Disaster. So he pops 2 monsters from your hand, including 1 Earth monster, and if he pops 2 Earth monsters, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and then banish 3 cards with different names from your extra deck. So a very strong monster. It can pop some of your Babycerasaurus cards to special summon that way. Definitely a great card to run at 3. And now for the hand traps, triple Ash Blossom and triple Droll. Just some very high impact cards. Fitting in these was not very easy. This is a 43 card deck, but we have some other hand traps on the side. So these are all the hand traps we need right here. Ash stops pretty much every deck, and then Droll very much for Pearly and other decks like that. Onto the spells now. We have our 2 double evolution pill and then our 1 beta evolution pill. Double Evolution Pill banishes cards from your hand or grave, one dinosaur and one non-dinosaur, to special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck. This is how you get into your ultimate Conductor Tyranno from your deck. And then Beta Evolution Pill, you can tribute 2 monsters, including one dinosaur, from your hand or field, and special summon a dinosaur monster from your extra deck with attack that is equal to or higher than the monsters you tributed. So you can use this to go into your new Transcendosaurus fusion monster, and you can also go into some of your other monsters in your extra deck, which can be very strong. Next up, Triple Fossil Dig just searches you any level 6 or lower dinosaur. So you can use this to search your new Xeno monster in your deck, or you can just search your Oviraptor or anything else. Triple Lost World, a very strong field spell in the deck. When you summon a dinosaur monster, you can special summon a dinosaur token to your opponent's side of the field. While they control a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except for tokens, so that's really good protection. Against certain matchups, when your opponent has a token on the field, they can't activate certain cards because they need a clear board, so you can't get lightning stormed or anything like that. Also, when a normal monster on the field will be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy a dinosaur monster in your deck instead, which means that you can use the effect of your Oviraptor to pop your opponent's token and use Lost World to pop a monster from your deck instead. So fantastic card, great disruption for your opponent, and also a great combo extender. Definitely run 3, alongside a Terraforming just to search out Lost World. Next up, Triple Dark Hole, a great board breaker. It also can help you combo off. If you just have a baby and a Dark Hole, that's full combo, because you can normal summon the baby, activate Dark Hole, destroy all monsters on the field. Baby can special summon your monster from deck, and you can go off from there. 3 copies is pretty good. And finally, one Call by the Grave, because some dinosaur combos are pretty fragile. A lot of these combos are 2 to 3 card combos, so you definitely want them to go off, so 1 Called by is very good. Onto the extra deck now, we have one of the new Transcendosaurus, what the fuck is his name? One of the new Transcendosaurus Gigantozowler. So, you will only be able to bring him out in this deck by using your Beta Evolution Pill. We don't run Ground Xeno for 2 reasons. 1, it's €30 a copy, and 2, you need to have another monster in your hand to actually use it. So, in cases where you don't have another baby in your hand or something like that, Ground Xeno can be pretty detrimental. So, we just run 1 copy of him alongside our Beta Evolution Pill. So when he is special summoned, you can add a dinosaur monster from your grave to your hand, and then if he was special summoned from the graveyard, you can destroy 2 cards, 1 your opponent controls, and then 1 from your hand or field. If he's destroyed, you can return one of your normal monsters from your grave to your deck in order to special summon him, and that will trigger his special summon effect, and you'll be able to pop 2 cards. So definitely 1 copy of him is very good. Next up, some Synchro guys, 1 Borreload because of the scrap package, 1 of your Sword Soul Long Wands, and then a Baronne. So your synchros here are pretty cool because you can go into 10s now with your new Xeno Meteorus. And your Borreload, of course, with your scrap engine, you can always get them out. You can mostly run any level 8 or 10 synchros. However, your new Xeno Meteorus locks you into a few archetypes. You can only summon dragons, worms, dinosaurs, and sea serpents. So you won't always be able to go into Baronne, but your long one here is a worm, and your Borreload is a dragon. So these 2 will always be able to go into. Next up, we have the Evolzar package. We have 1 Dolkka, 1 Laggia, and 1 Solda. I'd recommend replacing Solda with the new Evolzar Lars from Dune. I just don't have it right now, but he is still pretty good. Dolkka is a monster negate, not once per turn, so you have 2 monster negates. Laggia is basically a solemn judgment, detaching material, negate the effect of a spell or a monster summon. And Solda is a solemn strike, it can destroy your opponent's special summon monsters. Next up, 1 number 60 Dugares. You can use his effect to double the attack of your ultimate Conductor Tyranno, or any other one of your boss monsters. You can also use his effect to special summon a card from the graveyard, which can be very good for extending your combos. Or you can draw 2, discard 1, which can also help. So definitely 1 copy is pretty good. You can also run the Pentastag engine, I don't really do that. They basically achieve the same result. Onto the links now. Linkuriboh and Secure Gardener for this little package here. For your simple combo, you'll be linking off your Archosaur into Linkuriboh, linking Linkuriboh into Secure Gardener. That means you have a Cyberse and a Dinosaur engraved to be able to use your Double Evolution Pill to go into your UTC. Next up, Scrap Wyvern for your Scrap Engine, 1 IP, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Apollousa. Just very good synchro monsters. Using your Scrap combo, you can usually end on an Apollousa and a Borreload, so that's pretty good. And for the final monster in the extra deck, of course, 1 Accesscode Talker, great for closing out games, very easy to go into, so definitely run them. Onto the side now, it's mainly tailored towards going against Unchained. So we have a little bestial engine here, 1 Magnamut, 2 Baldrake, and 1 Druisworm. It's probably best to replace one of your Baldrakes with another Druisworm, but this ratio works out pretty well too. Mainly used to banish cards in your opponent's grave to disrupt their plays. It also works pretty well because they're level 6, so they can help you go into certain synchro monsters using your scrap engine. Next up, the remaining 2 of your Dogoran Kaiju. You know, if you're up against Pearly, you might want to just like not have to be able to search one. You want to just draw into one. So running the extra 2 I think is pretty good. Triple DD Crow, good against Pearly, good against Unchained, just a really good card to have on the side. Triple Cosmic Cyclone for back row decks. And then triple Imperm because Imperm's is a good card to have. If you feel like it, you can run Evenly or something over this, or Dark Ruler, but I think Imperm is good to have. So that's it for my new and improved Dinosaur build. Overall, this deck is very strong. New cards make this deck super fun to play. There's definitely a lot of different ways you can build dinosaurs. They're super flexible. There's so many little things you can do with them. So definitely give the deck a try. Make changes all you want. There's a lot of different ways you can play the deck. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any advice or changes, let me know. If you want to see some live duels with this deck, let me know as well.